if it is not the planet we're living on that is the problem, then it must be something that we have done. Something we have created for ourselves. And it is. I mean, the system and the structure of the modern day society, of the modern society, is simply not good enough. When people are suffering and they don't have to be, then there is something wrong with the system we have created for ourselves. Okay, hello everybody. Hello. Today I wanted to come here to you. I want to talk a little bit about speaking up and justice. Because the world around us, the world we live in and are a part of today is incredibly unjust. I found a couple of definitions on the free online dictionary about the word just. One of them is honorable and fair in one's dealings and actions. Number 2, consistent with what is morally right, righteous. Number 3, based on fact or reason, well-founded. The acronym of just is unjust. And what does it mean? It means violating principles of justice. Today I want to talk about the most fundamental things in this, because injustice is happening not just in the fundamental ways, but in so many different ways. It is insane, actually, when you look at it. So, and we'll talk more about the other types of injustice at some later point in future. So today, the most fundamental injustice, our most basic needs as human beings: water, food, sleep, and then shelter, protection. These are the 2 baselines in Maslow's pyramid of needs, or what it's called. And it is, her basic needs is food and water and a place, rest, and preferably a safe place to rest, so that you can actually rest and not be on guard of everything around you. Because the injustice we see today is that some people don't have anything, and other people have so much. They have so much more than what they need, and some people don't have what they need at all. And this is injustice. This is inequality, injustice, not fair. And it is interesting because these basic needs that we animals, human beings included, have, these as people, as beings of the earth itself has already provided what we need in order to survive. We have evolved with our our surroundings. Because it's basically the only way, isn't it? So that our basic human needs are in reality pretty easily met. Water we can find in big parts of the earth. And now we are even figuring out methods on how to clean ocean water, and we get it from the sky, we get it from the ground, we get it from lakes and rivers and waterfalls. In the world today, we have more than enough water for everyone to get their fair share of water to survive. Okay. And we have a lot of competence in regards to how to get water, digging wells. Now we have technology helping us find the groundwater, so we can figure out where to build the wells, and we can collect water and what not. So water, check, we got it. Food, every food we eat is from the planet. The planet has plenty of food for everyone if it is fairly divided. We have more than enough food for everyone to thrive and be happy and be fulfilled. So, and we have a lot of competence at these points too, as a human race. Whether it is collecting food or growing food, we have a lot of knowledge now. So that's good. Check. We got the space to grow the food as well. Check. Then last thing, rest. I won't talk too much about that because that's like all of these things. It's a whole subject in itself, and there are a lot of reasons why we as human beings are pretty restless these days. But that's another thing for another time. What I want to talk about now is shelter. We got our most basic fundamental needs met by the earth itself. Just by living, we can survive. And shelter. So we had what do we need to build a shelter, to make a shelter? Well, we need space to build the shelter. We got that. We got plenty of space. The earth itself is spaceful, full of space, full of land. We can even make houseboats to live on water. So we got the space, we need the materials. The earth kindly enough offers us all the materials we need, whether it be stones, dirt, bamboo, trees, whatever you want to make your house out of, go right ahead. There is a lot of materials. It's everywhere. And we need a little bit, not much. We don't need much competence, but we do need a little bit competence. We do need, but luckily enough, we got that too. Even if you are the most incompetent human being alive, we are lucky enough that there are many people alive, continuously working to help other people. So even if you are the most incompetent human being and cannot build anything that looks close to a shelter, maybe some people just cannot move. No, I mean, some people are in a coma. It's difficult for a person in a coma to build a shelter, but luckily there are people willing to help. We see it all around us. People helping other people. And we have a lot of competence. I mean, if we just, people are willing to help with competence too. If to build a shelter. So we have the competence, we have the space, we have the materials. So check. On shelter, check. We have it just by living. We can get it. What is also a thing to remember here, I think, is that people enjoy working. People enjoy, fundamentally again, we enjoy working. We enjoy contributing. We enjoy moving ourselves. We enjoy doing stuff. See it get done. Completing a task. You know? So we got what we need. Fundamentally, we got what we need. So why is the number of homeless people, why are there homeless people at all? Why are there starving people when we have so much food? We throw it away because we got too much. Throw away so much food when some people don't have anything. Why is it like that? It's so unbalanced. Crooked. Well, if it is not the planet we're living on that is the problem, then it must be something that we have done. Something we have created for ourselves. And it is. I mean, the system and the structure of the modern day society, of the modern society, is simply not good enough. When people are suffering and they don't have to be, then there is something wrong with the system we have created for ourselves. And when I'm talking about the systems in place, I'm talking about the political systems, the economical systems, and the social systems that we have created. No, the governments are supposed to be there for our best interest. This is the argument for having a government at all. I want to quickly reference the Enlightenment period, where a lot of philosophers talked about this social contract between state and individual, where the individuals willingly give up some of their power So the state can make decisions for everyone in this state. And here I want to mention especially John Locke, who said that individuals only agree to form a state that is a neutral judge acting to protect the lives, liberty, and property of its people. So, I mean, it seems like a good idea, right? The problem is when authorities are not doing their job, are not taking the responsibility they need to take in order for the people living in the state to be okay. The social, economical, and politic structure we have created allows the different people in power to pretty easily take a step back and point fingers and not take responsibility themselves. Luckily, many people, many normal people, take responsibility. Far from all of us. You know, we have a long way to go still. But a lot of people are showing us that it is possible to take responsibility. A lot of people are giving away from their time, giving away from what they have, from food, money, shelter, whatever, materials, capabilities, knowledge, using all of these things to do something good for others in need. It is time we start a conversation. A lot of people are already having this conversation. Some of us are starting now. Others will join the conversation soon. It is time. We need to have conversations about how we will do things from here and further on in our lives. How can we fix the problems we have created? Because now the systems we have are working against many people, working for some people, the people managing to stay in these structures we have built. It's all well and good for them, and that's good, you know, but it is not good for the rest of us. That there are so many people struggling with these structures and suffering and dying because they don't have what they need. And I'm sorry, but we allow it to happen, and it is not okay. And what is interesting about this also is that when you talk to the normal everyday man, everyone basically agrees that this is not fair. And we don't want that. We don't. We wish, the normal everyday person wish when you talk to them, for people to have what they need, the fundamentals that they need. They don't want people to be starving. They don't want people to live on the street. Especially when it is not their fault that they are on the street, that they are starving. People. Us. So why, if most of us doesn't want it to be like this, then why is it like this? So we need to start having these conversations. What do we want? How do we want the world to look like? What structures do we want? What fundamentals do we want to build our lives on? Because the fundamentals now are... And you can't build a very good house life on this. What do we want it to look like? Who is responsible for what? You know, is it, as John Locke said, the authority's responsibility to be a neutral judge? To be someone who acts to protect the lives, liberty, and property? Because now they are not doing their job. If that is the case, if this is what we want, the authorities are not doing their jobs. When people are missing their most basic needs, which we established earlier in the video is actually pretty easy to fulfill, then there is something wrong. You know, it's wrong. And then we need the voices of the people living on Earth, in states, whatever, you know. We need to talk about it. We also, and not just talk about it, we need to take action. We need to do it. There are a lot of people taking action already, helping building shelters, helping giving out food, helping finding water for people who doesn't have access to clean water. There are people doing actions like this. So it's good. But we need more. No. I'm saying that we need some fundamental changes. And I'm saying that we need to talk about what these changes are going to be. What do we want for the world, for our lives that are relatively short? What do we want them to be like the little time we are here on planet Earth? Do we want to see people suffering and kind of ignoring people suffering because it's uncomfortable to look at? Or do we want to work together, talk with each other, finding solutions that is for everybody? Because the solutions are there. I mean, we just made some wrong turns and it's building on top of each other. And there are a lot of reasons why it is the way it is today. And we'll talk much more about all these different things, why it is like that, what it is like. We'll talk about it. And some ideas about how it can be. And and I encourage all of you, all of us, to speak up. And there are so many ways to do it. You can use your voice in your local community, you can use your voice with your friends and family, you can use your voice and opinion out in the world. You can use your words in writing. You can write anyone. You can write anything. You can write to businesses demanding that they start taking the environment seriously, that they start taking paying people fair wages seriously. If we want change, we need to be a part of that change. We need to demand the change. We need to speak about the change. We need to do the change. Otherwise, everything is changing all the time. Not from one moment to the next moment. It's changed. All the time it is changing. And we can be a part of honing that change to what we want it to be like. We matter. We do stuff. We are a part of the equation that makes all of this happen. So speak up. What do you want? How can we make it a place for everyone? Where everyone has an opportunity. The everyday man just wants to live in peace and quiet. Go about their day, do their part, building stuff, making stuff, talking about stuff. We want to do things. So what do you want to do? Let's talk about it. I'm excited to see where we will go. We are already on our way to the future. Let's see what we can make it. Fingers crossed, it will be okay for everyone. Fingers crossed. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you are still here, I really appreciate. And yeah. As I said, we'll talk more about why it is like this, what it is like, what it can be like, and also the different kinds of injustice. See you later, alligator.